So, yeah, above and beyond, as I'll kind of say with where St. Francis de Sales talks about living by the Spirit. He's got a lot of good advice, but we're going to fall short. So he closes that opening prayer with, "So live wholly according to the Spirit." Okay, do live the law well, essentially. Live sweetly and in peace, because living the law, the moral code, provides sweetness and peacefulness in our lives. That's what we're intended here in the social teaching in the church. Be confident that God will help you, and in all that happens, when we fall, parentheses, when we fall short, rest in the arms of His mercy and brotherly goodness. So above and beyond, if we think of two hands of justice and mercy, so we have the law, and we want to live it, and impress others by our holiness, by living it. When we fall short, then above and beyond we have the arm of mercy that's offered to us by Jesus Christ in the Gospels, that's continually offered to us in the sacrament of the new law, that we have recourse to the sacrament of reconciliation. We can go to the weekly sacrifice of Mass, be forgiven of our venial sins by our Lord. Let's see. I had a swim meet today, so I lost my voice a bit. Okay, so one more thing in terms of the natural law. I had Apocalypto written down. I don't know if you've seen that Mel Gibson movie. Maybe it's a good way to kind of wrap at least this part of it. So, at least how I, again, probably grew up in a part of my life where it's like, okay, grew up as a kid, like, evaluate your life in terms of the Ten Commandments. And I still certainly have adults that come to do that. But I had said, Ten Commandments are fulfilled in Christ. They can all be expressed certainly as what we do to others that would put Christ on the cross or put someone else up there that maybe is not deserving of that or it's unjustified. So always kind of evaluate your life in terms of that. And that we do have Apocalypto, it's I'd actually preached about this in terms of when Jesus goes to the temple and he reads from the prophets, I think it's Isaiah, and he says, "You're reading the law, it's now fulfilled." And he points to himself as the source, the objective source of what to do, what not to do. And he reads from the scrolls, they're totally valid, hands it to the attendant, so it's not a question of the law. Again, reads from the law, then points to himself, reorients us, as we talk about in terms of St. Paul, conversion of St. Paul. It's not so much of a conversion. Because conversion, it presumes you got to be converted from sin or from untruth. No, when Paul's converted, it's more so a reorienting. So everything that he's reading from the Hebrew Bible is true. Law is true. He preached morality, and I think he lived it well. So things are good in order, I would think, in terms of his moral life. Well, it's reorienting from the law that's valid, that's now fulfilled in the person of Jesus Christ. What I read is now fulfilled. And in terms as well, Apocalypto, it deals with the eventual Spanish conquest of the New World. And Spaniards and Portuguese, they did awful things, sometimes erroneously invoking the will of God. But at its ideal, Christian morality is found in the cross of Christ. That what the Europeans did put a good thing they put not to death, but abolish was human sacrifice, like to sacrifice someone for a wrathful God or to appease the gods if there was a famine or something irrational or whatever they were choosing to do. Well, at the kind of closing scene, you have the the Spaniards that are coming on the ship, and the main characters are returning. They had escaped from the city where they were going to be human sacrificed to the gods. Well, the Spaniards holding the crucifix, again, regardless of how Christians have fallen short, you still have, as the ideal, someone who is the victim of religious sacrificial violence, and obviously preaches against it from the cross. I think it's kind of in a general sense, but whenever we examine our lives or approach the confessional, that's always kind of the best thing. How have I kind of been the person who put Christ on the cross? It's probably the best. And you can kind of use the commandments as well, which are fulfilled again on the cross as well. So yeah, that was, see, short overview, so 42 minutes. I didn't have my slides today. Were there, and we kind of plowed through that very quickly. Yes, if you take anything away from at least this part of it, probably formation of conscience is what Bob wanted to emphasize. I'd probably emphasize, in our doing that, again, look at the crucifix. And this, I guess the biggest thing if you take away from this, if the mechanics, the nuts and bolts, we'll have to have a talk maybe with RCIA18. This is even the most elegant way of presenting this, because it can be a little prosaic, and it seems like a children's shorter each year. We take away anything. Yes, the church teaches what it does infallibly, given that charism that Christ gave to Peter in communion with the apostles and bishop successors and the Pope. When in the instance that you fall short, you have recourse to the beautiful sacrament of reconciliation, which we'll kind of just demonstrate in a moment here. That's, again, justice and morality and social teaching are all important. We won't always realize that in our world and fall short, so hopefully absolution. It's my favorite thing to do as a priest, is to hear confessions. Were there any questions before we move to our mock confession? I know this is a lot of material to plow through in less than an hour.